Okay, I want to work through a few solution problems here. And so remember, we're talking about solutions. So that's, when you have something dissolved in something like water. What we care about also is concentration. So concentration we're going to measure in molarity. Okay? Okay, and molarity is just going to kind of tell us the ratio between how many moles of stuff we have dissolved compared to how big the solution is. So moles per liter. Okay, and so molarity is going to be a capital M, moles is a little m, and liters is a measurement of volume here. So molarity is moles per volume. Okay, and so this first problem here, it asks us, tells us that a saturated solution of sodium chloride is 5.42 molar. So the highest concentration of sodium chloride you could get is 5.42 molar. They tell us that we add 60 grams of sodium chloride to water, and they tell us that the total volume is 187. And they want to know if our solution is saturated or unsaturated. So what that means is if we figure out the concentration and it's bigger or equal to 5.42, it's going to be saturated. If it's less than that, it's going to be unsaturated. Okay, so to get molarity and compare it to the saturation level, we need moles and we need volume. Well, they give us volume. It's in milliliters. We're going to need it in liters, but they don't give us moles. What they do give us is grams. But at this point, we know that if you have grams, you have moles. So we have 60.1 grams of sodium chloride. Okay, and then we're going to convert that to moles here. So we know that 1 mole of NaCl is 58.44 grams of NaCl. Okay, and so if we do that, we realize that we have about 1.03 moles of the NaCl. Okay, so that tells us how many moles of NaCl we have. Our volume, 187, which again, if we can 187 milliliters, divide that by 1,000 to get liters, so move the decimal place over three spots. We're going to get moles per liter, so 1.03 moles per 0.187 liters. Okay, and when we calculate that out, we end up getting something that's about 5.5 molar. Okay, so 5.5 molar. This concentration is bigger than the saturation level, so this is going to be a saturated solution. Okay, and so similarly here, this is kind of a similar problem in reverse. But if we have, it's trying to figure out how many grams of HCl we'd have if we have 15.6 milliliters of 2.87 molar HCl. So they give us molar concentration, they give us volume, again in milliliters. And so we see we could rearrange this equation to help us out. To figure out grams of HCl, we're going to need moles and then convert it. So to get moles, we're trying to isolate this value here. What we're going to have to do is rearrange this equation. So if we do that, we get moles is equal to molarity times volume. Okay, so molarity again was 2.87. Volume was 0.0156 liters. So again, we got to convert milliliters and liters back and forth. So it tells us that we have, then it comes out to about 0.0448 moles of HCl. Okay, so that tells us how many moles we have, but again, they ask for grams, and so we got to go grams to moles. So between that, so 0.0448, and we got to convert it back to moles. So we know that again, that's moles there. I forgot to write it. Moles, 1 mole of HCl is going to have a mass of 36.458. Okay, 0.0448 times 36.458 tells us that we're going to have 1.63 grams of HCl in that solution.